Today we'll be talking about someone who became an instant cult figure in India after Prime Minister Narendra Modi mentioned him in one of the episodes of his most accomplished show, Man Ki Baat, Mr. Jonas Masetti. Today we have Mr. Masetti with us. Welcome to Jagran English, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So my first question is definitely from the introduction that I gave. Our Prime Minister mentioned you in Man Ki Baat, and he spoke at
Mhm.
length about your journey from being a stock market virtuoso to someone who came to India, who learned about Indian culture, and now who's giving lessons on Vedanta and Bhagavad Gita. So when you got to know that your work was, hailed by Prime Minister of India, what was your reaction when you got to know about this?
Oh, okay. Do you mind if I do a prayer before I start?
Yeah, sure, sure, sure.
It's okay. Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hare Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shri Jagan Mataram Devim Stitadhi Padmakasanam Hridaya Sagaratitam Gomatim Pranatosmyaham. Om. Okay, I'm ready.
So, what was the initiation point of your journey? You at once decided to do away with your job. What was that feeling that that you took this step that no, I just don't want to be in this profession. I just don't want to be involved in job. I just want to go to India. I just want to learn about Indian culture, Indian religion, and then you started preaching. You started giving lessons on Vedanta. What was that? That initiation point, that one thought you get, and then you started this.
Well, when I was in my early 20s, I had everything that Western society tells me to have, you know. So I had a family, an apartment, a wife, money, friends. Would go out to party every night, but I was not feeling fulfilled, you know. And also the people that I knew from the company, the senior managers, all the big names, they were also having a lot of trouble in their lives. People in the West, they would take pills to sleep, you know, they would have a lot of stress. So I looked to all this and I was just thinking this does not make any sense, you know, why people work so much and struggle so much and at the same time they don't have peace, they don't have happiness. So I just figured out that what the Western ideology was proposing me was not going to bring me fulfillment. So I started searching for answers, and that's how I came across yoga and Vedanta.
So you started this for fulfillment, a kind,
Yes, for
yeah,
personal
a
fulfillment.
kind of journey to discover yourself.
Yes, I was in a crisis because I could not see a way to become happy in life, you know. I did not see anybody happy either, so I had to look in other places.
Also, sir, if we talk about religion, the major chunk follows Christianity, then there's Islam, then there's Hinduism. So my question is, you chose Hinduism, you chose to learn about Sanatan Dharma. So why did you choose Hinduism? What was so special about it? You felt that I should go
I,
for it.
I as, ac- Actually I did not choose Hinduism. When I chose Vedanta, I saw Vedanta as a pramana, as a means for knowledge, as a tool for knowing myself. So this was like the main goal. And slowly in the process, I came to know the culture. I came to India, I visit temples, and then I understood that I belonged to that. But it was not something that I chose in the first place, you know. And I think that the same way, like many students that I have, they are from different religions. They are not from Hinduism, but many of them became vegetarian. Many of them became Hindus. But in the West, the approach is not religious based. You know.
But sir, it is said that the basis of every religion is almost same. Then how is Sanatan Dharma different? Because you said that there are people from different religions that are following you, that are your disciples, but you're kind
Hmm.
of kings choosing Bhagavad Gita. So, how was it different from others? Like, when basis is same, when teachings are same,
Hmm.
what attracted you towards this?
Well, in the West, they are already drinking from the Vedas for a long time. They have yoga, they have Ayurveda, they have astrology, mantras, meditation. And any of these practices, they need you to be Hindu. You can be from any religion and practice them and benefit from them. If you go to Ayurveda doctor, he don't ask you what's your religion. He treats you. At the same way, a Vedanta teacher does not ask where do you belong and then I'll help you or not, or become a vegetarian so that you can learn. Actually, my understanding is that the Vedic tradition have so many tools for the well-being of the humanity, and is not asking anything from anybody.
But because at times several claims have been made that the basis of most of the scientific discoveries were Vedas, because there were many researches in NASA and many
Hmm.
foreign institutions. They've said that the basis of most of the scientific discoveries are from ancient Vedas. They are substantiated documents.
Hmm.
Like Swami Dayanand, I also, while researching about,
Hmm.
while studying about you, got to know
Hmm.
you were a disciple of Swami Dayanand as well. So,
Hmm.
Swami Dayanand also claimed that through Satyat Prakash or through many other documents, I've tried to lucidify Vedas I've tried to explain this in nutshell. So,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
What means is that the science have their basis in Vedas, but the Vedas does not have their basis in science. Which means that the Vedas are not scientific, but the science needs the Vedas. Even if you think on the medical field, so many Aushadam, Vanetishtanti, at the same time, how would you make the test and see what is the particular Aushadam that will cure a specific disease? So there is a source for all the knowledge, and the source is Alparushayam. Because think about how many plants are there in the forest, and then you're going to test each plant for each disease is not going to work. So even in the Amazon tradition, it's the same thing. Let's say the drugs company, they test what come from a different source that's not scientific.
So you're giving lessons on Vedanta, on Bhagavad Gita, and there are certain things that you have studied, you have learned. But sir, in the course, have you done certain kind of researches on this issue, or like is there anything that you have that is inherent that you have felt from inside that this is new discovery? This is like I am like kind of doing a research on something, or this is what I've experienced in this. Besides something that is written, besides something that has been taught to you, that is something of your own. Is there anything that you felt from inside, like,
Hmm.
yeah, this is this I've understood this, I've
Yeah,
learned from my own experiences?
yeah, of course. Like when we study Vedanta, we understand that Vedanta has, let's say, two basic teachings that are running together. One is karma yoga, like the way of living a dharmic life and the way that you can stabilize your mind, your emotions. And on this field, you will always need, like, let's say, a self understanding of the whole process. It's not about, oh, I'm being a fanatic, I should follow Dharma and that's it. No, I'm following Dharma because when I follow Dharma, I don't become a person in conflict. If I do what is right in my life, I can rest in my pillow at night. So this is something that you can verify all the time. And then there is a lot of poetry around it. There is a lot of thought that you have to put in your own self. And the second subject that goes together is what we call Atmajnana, the understanding of the self. And the nature of the self is such that it cannot be objectified. So you can see your mind, you can see your body, you can see the external world, but you cannot see the witness. And for this witness, you need a pramana, means of knowledge. And on that second field, the only way to understand, let's say, for yourself is because yourself is the one who is understanding. So you get that certainty from the nature of the self, and that's how it goes.
Also, so you told that you had a family, you used to go to party, you had your own life, and
Yeah,
now since it's the life is
yeah.
completely different, you have embarked on this spiritual journey. So how is this
Hmm.
life different from that? Are you enjoying it, or like are you missing that life as well?
Not at all. Actually, I'm in peace and more happier than before. So that's really only things that matter. And I'm not like not going to parties because there's a commandment you should not go to parties or should not drink alcohol. These are all choices that comes out from inner maturity that we get from life. Like for me, a good day of prayer, going to a temple is better than, going to the beach. So that's why I do that.
Sir, our Prime Minister called you the cultural ambassador of India. That is indeed a
Mm,
big tag that you got from the person who is
yeah.
at the helm, yeah, who is leading the nation. So, like in your
Uh-huh.
initiative, have you been contacted by any like from did you get any kind of like help or assistance from the government to push your initiative through? Like our embassy shared a comprehensive post about your journey. PMO shared that post when you were mentioned in Man Ki Baat. So, are you
Uh-huh.
planning any kind of tie-up through embassy or to like to push this initiative through or to take this forward? Like at a broader level, you
Uh-huh.
can when you have resources, when you are like when people at higher places are involved in your initiatives, because definitely you are trying to promote Indian culture. That is good for our nation as well.
Uh-huh.
That will take our culture forward in across the world. So, are you expecting
Uh-huh.
any type of like assistance from the government, or you are in contact with anyone from India?
Yeah, I understand. Well, from the beginning until now, we did not have any help. Like we are doing everything by our own selves. A lot of volunteers are there among the students, and all our classes are based on a deduction process of contribution. So each one contribute with what they can, and that's how we have been running. I don't expect like to become a giant organization or anything like that because I believe that most of the sacred teachings need this one-to-one process, and for the time being, I'm alone doing that with my teacher Gloria G in Brazil. So I think the next step is to bring out new teachers. And that's why next year we are going to start a residential course in Brazil, in the forest, for 2 years and a half. So that maybe we can bring 5 more people, 5 more teachers that could spread this knowledge.
My last question to you, sir: what you want to say to the people like who are leading an unhappy life, who are going after things which are not true, which are not like reality? Like, what do you want to say to people who get carried away, who are not like who are unhappy, who wants to be happy, and like who are confused, who are in dilemma about their choice,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
about their future?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So before answering this question, I must tell, like in Brazil, we have a Chatralaya a student school for uh, students that live in the poor areas. We have now 40 people, 40 children that are studying there and receiving these spiritual teachings. And why I'm telling that is because I think that the spiritual learning process is not seen as part of the role of a human being. We think that spirituality will come naturally, but it's not true. Even in India or in Brazil or anywhere, you have to put a hard work on that direction also, like we put to study engineering or whatever. So my message is more for the youth. Um, the youngsters, they are all very charmed by the Western ideology, all the things that they can buy and they can become. But I must say there is no fulfillment there.
Thank you for your time. It was indeed a great pleasure to have you, and I hope through this interaction, many people will be enlightened about life, about spirituality, about God. Thank you yet again
Hmm.
for being with
It was
us.
a it was a pleasure to be with you, Abhishek Ji.
Thank you so much.
and it's my first time in India after the pandemic and all these things, you know. So I'm very happy to be here in our nation.
Thank you, thank you. I hope it's more to come. Yeah.